This is going to be our first Christmas in the tiny house, and I wanted to make it extra special. Actually, the last two Christmas we spent it in the camper van, so this year is definitely an improvement, and for me an excuse to bring some of these winter vibes inside the cabin.
The year is coming to its end, a year full of emotions, hard work and memories. For me, it is the time to look back at the things I did, the achievements, the mistakes, and to celebrate all of them, because they all made me a new person, different than last year and a different one than the next. 5 years ago, I slowly started to live at a slower pace, spending more time alone, and trying to find the space I needed to know myself better, figuring out in which direction I wanted to go, and live the life I wanted to live. Moving from one place to another, I never really felt at home, until last year, when I came to these mountains for the first time. I knew this was the place. Sometimes it's not easy to dream big and tell your projects to others, without being influenced by them, because everybody has an opinion, in many cases very different than the one you have. So for me, this was the quiet and lonely year I was looking for.
This is pretty much done now. I think it ended up looking good. It holds the shape well, which is important. And the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm gonna use this cord and try to find a nail and a hammer and hang it from the wall.
As the Christmas season approached, I started to remember the hard work and harsh weather I had to go through last year to build the tiny house. The rainy season caught us with a half-built house. It was cold and everything was just wet. But it was in those hard days that I imagined myself living already in it, with the fireplace on and laying on the couch after a hard day of work. For me, life is about the way we experience what's happening around us, and the memories we make out of those experiences.
Today I'm going to harvest the first broccoli of the winter season. This one is the first one that it's ready to harvest, and I'm gonna use it tomorrow to make some lunch. And the last task that I need before the year ends is to start my winter garden. I will start by preparing the soil and cleaning a lot of weeds. I also have some bamboo structures that I use during the summer garden. It looks like they grew some roots and we kind of like that bamboo, so I'm gonna transplant it somewhere else in the garden. For the winter garden, I'll be sowing broad beans, peas, spinach, some radishes. Today I will soak all the seeds and tomorrow I will transplant them, so it's much easier for them to germinate. And also because we are going to have a full week of rain, it's going to be much easier for them to have the good environment to grow. Next is the fun part, which is going to be to clean all of this mess. Good thing is I'm going to be able, for example, to harvest things that are left in the garden, like these beetroots and some peppers that we have here, for example. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do now. Now I'm going to cut all these water pipes and change the end for this, so we are able to make some tension and they will look all straight and more organized. First raised bed is finished, it's all prepared for tomorrow's seedlings, and now I'm gonna go for the second bed. But before that, I'm gonna give a good trim to this lemongrass plant, which looks amazing, but it's taking over a big portion of the raised bed. I'm gonna trim it and then clean off all the weeds and everything to make new space for new plants. And the last work that I need to do is to harvest the last winter squashes that we have. And this butternut squash has been here until now, which is middle of December. and I'm going to be able to harvest 4 of them. So yeah. Today I'm going to make a vanilla cake, and since I'm allergic to gluten, I cannot find easily gluten-free cakes around here. So I'm gonna make it all by myself. The main ingredient for the cake is going to be almonds, and I'm going to make the almond flour, and then I'm gonna prepare a cashew frosting cream in order to make like a layer cake. I'm really excited because I find that having this time to slow down and spend time here in the kitchen is going to be great. The cake is now baked and I'm gonna let it cool here for a while. And I have to wait an extra 20-30 minutes in order to start making the cashew frosting.
On Christmas Day, I was finally able to harvest the hard work put in the garden during the last months. We had a beautiful sunny morning, spent outdoors and later on an afternoon cooking in the kitchen. For lunch, I cooked the first broccoli harvested from the winter garden, that after some struggles with pests and slugs, grew beautifully and made it to our plate. This month, as the days are getting shorter and colder, we have been enjoying warm, comforting meals, like this soup we cooked for lunch. It had 3 main ingredients: cabbage, cilantro, and green onions, all from our tiny garden. These simple days cozy at home is what reminds me to appreciate the simple beauty found in nature, steps away from what I'm lucky to call home.
It's been almost 24 hours since I put everything in the refrigerator to make sure that everything cooled down before I started assembling the cake. And I was thinking on either make raspberry sauce or use the raspberry as whole fruits in between layers. And I think that's what I'm going to do, because I'm going to go to the garden and pick the strawberries that we have left. And as a final decoration, I will pick some edible flowers that we have here in the garden, and since everything is organically grown, it's fine to put it in our plate. I'm gonna cut one of these roses that just blossomed today, and then some other cosmos flowers that we are still enjoying during the winter. you.